And we're live.
It's Wednesday. It's a little after 9 o'clock Central, 10 p.m. Eastern. You know what that means. VWP, Violent Wrestling Podcast, is back on the air. As always, our three-person booth. I'm Mox, follow with Ambrose Alley, affectionately known as AA, and Metal Matt, affectionately known as ML, or just jackass that gives me shit about Burger King. How are you
Man,
guys doing?
I'm doing good. I wish I did have some Burger King right now. A Whopper sounds very good right now, especially those brand new delicious chicken strips.
I can't stand you.
And
Everybody's
hello,
good.
folks.
Ambrose Alley.
And Cassie the Wonder Dog says hello. She's waving a paw.
With some Burger King in her belly.
I was about to say, don't keep it kayfabe because you said before we went on air. What'd you have for lunch, AA?
I had Burger King and I shared it with the Wonder Dog.
Every single episode, we really need to reach out to Burger King so they can sponsor Violent because every single episode, one way or another, it's gonna get brought up. How we're all still friends, I don't know.
Because we're crazy and insane.
Good enough reason for me. So we did have a little mid-week podcast Friday, the Takeover Kids edition, which was so fun. That podcast was just awesome.
Yeah, it really was.
That was a lot of fun.
It was my 9-year-old son and the Saskatchewan spinning nerve hold that affectionately again called five because that's the fifth move in Jericho's list of moves. 7-year-old and just how they interact. And I don't remember being 7 or 9. Like I remember being that age, and I remember things from that age in the wrestling world and what I saw. I don't remember being as smart as they were about the wrestling business like back then. But good grief, they took me aback of like, wow, how mainly like in kayfabe, but they had very strong opinions on what they thought, and
Oh, yes. Out of the mouth of babes.
so tonight we're gonna. AA had a fun little trip. Well, I guess two trips, Thursday and Saturday.
Yeah, I had 2 nights of Rocky Mountain Pro Wrestling.
Nice.
I
And
couldn't
we'll
get
do some.
drunk on Thursday night, though, because I had to drive back.
Ah, dadgum responsibility always getting in the way.
Have to be an adult at times.
And we'll do some Raw and SmackDown, and you might hear a Mox rant.
Might.
Could you possibly guess what that might be about?
That could
I
be
think
about
I,
anything.
I think I know what it is. And I think I might rant about that as well.
Oh, good. Two
But
rants. I love it.
Matt's rants are always so much better than mine because my I have like a quasi kind of rant every week. But when Matt like puts up that box and like he's just saying like had enough, like Matt's are so much better than mine because it's always so like he's always so calm and peaceful and like everything's fine in the world. Like every and so when Matt's upset, like I take notice. Like where I'm just like, fuck the world. Matt's like not we're like polar opposites of how we see things. So when Matt isn't happy, like, oh, okay. Let's start with Rocky Mountain Pro Thursday.
Oh, that was fun. That was during Beer Hall Brawl. It was a Brewers Festival down in Denver, and the Rack House had the Beer House Brawl. I got to
I,
taste sample some nice beers.
5 stars just for it being called Beer House Brawl. Like that's
I got a nice little beer mug out of it too
nice.
to commemorate being there. And the opening match was Mercury Matt Yaden versus the one, the only, the legend, Al Snow.
They opened the show.
They opened the show.
Holy crud!
And Matt went over.
Nice.
He went over for the
Surely,
home team.
surely by now you guys know Matt Yaden, Mercury, Matt Yaden. If you don't, 3 weeks ago he was here on this very podcast for AA's birthday.
But he's the owner of Rocky Mountain Pro and the
Yes,
Mercury Pro Wrestling Academy.
such a nice dude, such a good dude.
He's a great guy. But yes, they opened the show.
Well, that's one way to get the crowd going. Mercury Matt versus Al Snow.
Oh, yes.
Oh, oh. And Matt went over.
And Matt went over.
Does Al Snow still do? Does he have head with him
He
anymore?
still does head.
Okay. I,
That's
I
what
was
she
trying
said.
I was trying to find a polite way of asking. Does he still do head? I just didn't know how to.
What do you want?
What does everybody want? Head. Head. You can tell when the kids aren't around because we went from PG Friday to not PG Wednesday.
Yeah, we're rated R here tonight. The rated R superstars.
Oh, good grief. Since I haven't actually watched Al Snow, uh, it hasn't been that long. For some reason in my mind, I had it longer than what it has been. I'm assuming he can still go.
He can still go.
He always had this look about him that makes him seem older than what he is.
He can still go.
We
And
know
he and
Matt.
Matt, they left it in the ring.
Do you recall the finish? How that happened? How Matt got the 1, 2, 3
No, I don't remember.
free beer.
It was a wild night, but it was an awesome show. It really was.
It seems to be every Rocky Mountain Pro show. It seems like I'm legitimately like, man, if I could get to Colorado, like
If you
I
get to
want to.
Colorado, I take you and I introduce you to everyone. I introduce you to the Left Coast Gorillas. I introduce you to Curtis Cole. I'd introduce you to Filter, to Dr. Trey, to Stevie, over Easy
What
Stevie.
the name over easy Stevie just I don't know what it is about that name. It just always makes me chuckle in the back of my mind. You know, if that ever happened, I'm gonna be you during the first time you went to Rocky Mountain Pro. Like, I don't. I'm too shy to talk to anybody.
And
Like I'm just
I'll take over that shyness and force you to meet them. Especially, I'm gonna let you meet Dr. Trey and Matt first because they're not intimidating. The Left Coast
Matt.
Gorillas can be.
Hootie has been a well. That's gonna sound awkward, but Hootie has been a hoot on Twitter the last few days.
Oh,
Hootie in the
he's great.
bullpen.
He's got a he's got the Twitter game.
Like some of the quote tweets he's been doing and the retweet stuff. Like he's the
And I
last few
can
days.
introduce you to Mr. 495,
Nice.
Humphrey Jacobs the first. 495 on PWI's top 500 list.
Are they
Oh,
running with that?
He is. The fans are.
Oh, so it's being like brought up like storyline kind of way.
Nope, it hasn't come in the storyline.
Oh, he should run with that so hard. Mumphrey Jacobs the first, I think Matt asked who made on the PWI top 500 list, made number 495, and discussed it on a pod a few weeks ago. Like that's hell. I think you were there. That's a hell of an accomplishment. Like I don't give a damn if I'm 495, 500. Like you made something. But that would be a perfect gimmick, kind of like the NFL Mister Irrelevant. You know, the last person drafted. Like make a gimmick out of it, Mister 495.
He has signs that go up every time he comes out that have 495 on them.
Feed into that like that. That'd be swell.
He's proud of that accomplishment like he should be.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's
That was his childhood dream to be on PWI's top 500 list.
he made
the
it.
boyhood dream has come true for Matt Yaven.
No, for Humphrey Jacobs the first.
I think Matt was referring to himself on that one.
He said Yaden. He didn't say Metal Matt.
Oh, I kind of broke up on the last name. We'll just go with Matt, Metal Matt. Like, what else happened Thursday?
Um, let's see. One of my friends was totally plastered, but and that was
Okay,
a hoot.
which wrestler was it?
It wasn't a
We need to
wrestler.
hear more.
It wasn't a wrestler. It was just a friend of mine.
I was bad joke.
Um, yes, the Left Coast Gorillas did chug a few beers. So did the announcer Woody, but it was his birthday, so everyone sang him happy birthday to Woody the announcer.
Nice. And this episode's on Twitch too.
It's on Twitch.
Okay. I know Saturdays is. I watch Saturdays. We'll talk about that in a second.
And
I'm sure you got a friend in him.
You got a friend in me.
let's see what else happened. That's about it. There was no Lockettes match though, which surprised me that the women didn't wrestle that night.
Oh, boo.
Nor did they wrestle Saturday night.
Double boo.
So that was really a shame. I was really hoping to see Aligato in action.
I'm not even going to dare try doing what I did a few weeks ago with the Alligato and the song. I'm not even gonna try. Alligato. Yeah, I'm not gonna try. But you came in and you left and you had fun like always.
Oh, yes, always had fun. Let's see. They did, if you go into the Twitch, they did a pre Beer Hall Brawl Twitch show, and Filter got a little out of control on that one, along with the people in the background.
Yeah, I saw that on Twitter that things got a little out of hand.
It was a blast, though. I was laughing so hard because I was right there. I was laughing quietly though, so I wouldn't come across on Twitch, but I was
You've taken
laughing so
over
hard.
enough shows from enough promotions.
I haven't taken over any show from any promotion
Um,
yet.
do I need to remind you?
What?
Raw 2 years ago.
Oh, you mean that show?
Yes, man. We're gonna need you to calm it down.
That show. I did not mean to hijack it. It just happened.
And you didn't, and I still
It was
I watch
unintentional.
I watched that back, and I don't see what the problem was because you weren't a distraction. You weren't like I'm. That's still like I'll still watch that on the network. And like I just don't get why because you see some more raucous people in the front row and stuff that are sometimes a distraction. You weren't. You were. Yeah, you did stand up and take a lot of pictures, but you weren't a distraction to the hard camera angle. I mean, for you or for me, you were because I knew it was you, and that like I couldn't tell you who was wrestling because I was watching you.
See, I was a distraction.
But yeah, you can't say you. Peppered Farm remembers.
That's the time I got too sweeted by Finn Balor.
Yes, so jealous, so jealous. Oh,
And then Saturday, they filmed 2 episodes for Charged, and, uh, excuse me, and I ended up in the bleachers that night.
oh wow.
I wasn't on the floor, I ended up in the bleachers. Miscommunication with the tickets and stuff.
You have been kicked out of RMP.
No, I'm not, I went to the bleachers and helped them, but it
That
was
joke.
okay.
And where was the Saturday show?
Saturday's show was at the Quarry.
Okay. That's,
That's where they filmed the Charge episodes, is at the Quarry.
I get sometimes the Corey and the Wreck House confused.
And, usually the Rack House is on Fridays.
So what happened on the charge tapings besides
Um,
you being in the bleachers?
Besides me being
So,
in the
so,
being
yeah.
sent to the
Crazy lady
bleachers.
needs to like back up a little bit. Like crazy lady back, crazy lady back. What happened on the church tapings?
Um, we had some good matches going on. It was kind of a blur. I mean, I got to up in the
Okay,
bleachers, huh?
Saturday you could drink.
Yeah, I did.
Okay, that's Thursday. You had some taste of alcohol. Saturday you
Saturday I drank.
yeah
I shouldn't have been
nothing.
driving either, but I did.
Um. Mm, 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 mm. So
But
anyway,
I
the
made it home
card.
safe and sound.
Well, and before anybody gives you a hard time, I know you well enough to know like a beer for you is considered like drinking. Like you weren't plastered or driving drunk or anything.
No, I wasn't. I had a beer, and then usually I wait about a couple hours before I drive after having a beer.
Yeah,
Well, this time I didn't. I only waited about 45 minutes before I got on the road.
but still, like one beer,
Yeah.
you're not you're not like Matt that's always just plastered all over the
You mean
place.
wing?
No, I was making a joke about Matt, Mister Straight Edge. But yeah, I know you better than that. Like you didn't just pitcher after pitcher or gallon after gallon of alcohol. Like I'm gonna
No,
drive home from Denver to Wyoming.
I'm not like the left coast gorillas, okay?
Yeah, right.
Now we know why Aligato drives.
Right?
Because Anaya tends to have a little too much, well, so does Hoodie for that part too.
I really, really, I know I told you this a long, long time ago. I think through text or something. I really want to. It doesn't even have to be like at a bar, like a drinking contest. I really want to just hang out with them. They seem so cool.
Oh, they are really cool. Um, if you want, go into the Twitch archives and look for Left Coast Gorillas drunk wrestling history, and you'll get to
Oh,
see him going. As Hoodie says, if he doesn't remember the last 30 minutes of the show, then he did good.
wow. Okay then. What else happened Saturday? You already said no women wrestling.
I know, which was a shame. Really was.
We have to get Bam Bam Malone to do a Rocky Mountain Pro event, one way or another.
Well, I've mentioned him a couple of times to Matt. I
Uh,
guess it
uh,
all I guess it all has to do on schedules and stuff.
yeah, Bam Bam's more south and southeast, but when I've talked to him, like I think we both talked to him, like he's willing to go
To
up
come
to,
up here.
yeah, he's willing to do it. But that'd be so cool.
Oh yeah.
And maybe after it happens, like then finally getting the Bam Bam interview and maybe actually having Nat too, like that'd just be.
Matt is hard to get a hold of for any length of time because he's so busy.
Oh, I know. He's got so many balls in the air.
Yeah, he does.
That's what
But
she said.
that's pretty much.
Oh, who?
But
Who
that was
would have
pretty
thought
much Saturday.
Metal Matt was going to be the vulgar one of the night?
Cassie, quit hogging the bed.
We're missing a. Well, I can't say we. You guys don't watch Big Brother. Oh, and go ahead and write me emails and hate mail or whatever. I watch Big Brother. I'm watching it through the window as we're podcasting, and a contestant just proposed to another contestant. Anywho,
Oh, how sweet.
yeah. So you said that was about it for Saturday,
Yeah, it was just a fun night.
and I know some people might be like needing to know or wanting to know like match by match and what happened, but the best part of seeing any kind of show, uh, I don't. This is gonna sound weird, but bear with me. Is you don't remember the very specific like who came out, what match was first, what match was like you're just having too much fun to keep up with like what everything was going on.
And you're not there critiquing it. You're there to enjoy it,
Yeah,
and you get
yeah.
lost in it.
You're just there having fun.
Yeah. It's like I could have gone to Raw in Denver if I wanted to.
And I meant to ask you last week, I guess last, Raw's in Denver. Are you going?
No, because I went to the Beer Hall Brawl. I'd rather go see Rocky Mount Bro than Raw.
You hush your mouth. All right.
What,
Big
me
brother.
hush my mouth?
No, no, my wife. Anyway, so Madam Matt, why don't you take over and start the Raw review?
Well, the Shield come out for the opening segment,
Unless you
and
had anything between last Wednesday and Monday.
oh, well, I'll talk about MLW very briefly. There was an interesting opening segment with a Pentagon, Phoenix, as well as Selena Diorenta, and they ended up writing in the whole "Will Pentagon and Phoenix be going to WWE?" Like they outright name drop Triple H in the segment.
Yeah,
Wow.
this was the conclusion from the MLW War Games.
Yeah, this was the second part of the show that they're doing.
Okay.
And the first match on that particular episode was the Hart Foundation versus the Dirty Blondes and somebody else. I can't remember who, but it was part of Colonel Robert Parker's little clique there. And the Hart Foundation won. It was okay. Next match was Joey Ryan and Taya Valkyrie versus MJF and Arya Blake. MJF won for some godforsaken reason.
Uh,
And the main event was PCO versus Brody King. And that ended in a DQ. And it ended in PCO doing a moonsault on Brody King and all the referees outside the ring.
All referees?
Yeah, like all the referees came down to try and break it up.
I'm just gonna Taya Valkyrie. Oh, nice. That's all I can say about her.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't a great episode. I don't think.
I was surprised. I haven't watched the full second half of the War Games, but to to be called War Games and like how they ended it was I don't know what kind of grade I'd give it. If I don't do grades necessarily, but it, uh, I don't know. There was something left to be desired, if that makes sense. Like I just
Hmm.
no dead air, no dead air,
No dead air, dead air, dead air, dead air. And on to Raw.
and we'll
That was
let Matt
opened by
start
the
this off.
Shield.
And it did seem like they were teasing an Ambrose heel turn. How you feel about that, AA?
I don't want to see it to happen because they already have a nice over heel in Drew McIntyre. They need a nice over face, which they have in Ambrose.
Well,
And before they do if they want to do a heel turn, they should wait till after you do the McIntyre Ambrose feud.
I mean, they're going to do it. Like they are going to turn Ambrose heel, even though it
Yeah,
doesn't really make that much sense. I mean,
but I want them to do it
it
after
kind
the
of does, but it kind of
McIntyre
doesn't.
feud, though. I want him to feud with McIntyre.
Right, but if there's one thing that WWE has proven lately, it's that they have no problem turning popular baby faces into heels.
And that will definitely be discussed on the SmackDown review. Tyler won.
But if they do go ahead and do it before the McIntyre feud, because there's money in that feud. If they do it
There's
before then, I just want him to walk away from the Shield. I don't want to turn on the Shield. I just want him to walk away from them.
there's no turn necessary, like at all. Amongst all three of them, there's no turn necessary. You can tell the same story in a much better light if, like, there's three members of the Shield. Two are currently holding singles championships. Dean just went, and especially coming from injury, the story writes itself. He's been out for 9 months. Like, hey, let me try this on my own. Still love you as brothers. Still going to be there to back you up, no matter what. Let me see what I can do on my own, even if that means facing one of you guys.
And it wouldn't be the first time he faced off against one of his brothers
Yeah, like
in a
there,
match in a match of all matches, and they still end up friends afterwards.
yeah, like there's,
Like when he faced off against Roman Reigns and lost to Roman
yeah, like
for the WWE title.
it's kind of so easy that I don't see them doing it. Like they want to make things complicated, if that makes sense. They want to, like, there's no sense in any of them turning against each other. No sense. There should be no begrudgment. No, I know they're trying to lay the foundation of, where were they when you were out injured for 9 months, and did they text you? Did they call you? I just, I fear that they will do a turn on Dean, but that's the dumbest thing they could try to do.
That's it. We know it's coming. We know they're going to do it. But as I said, I just want to do it after the McIntyre feud because I want to see Psychopath versus Lunatic. I think that'd be a hell of a feud.
Oh yeah, Psychopath has to drop Dolph first, like that. Either I'd prefer just writing Dolph off altogether, but Dolph, face heel, face heel, face heel. Like, what is even Dolph Ziggler? Like
He's a
he's
heel
on
right
the
now.
well right now, but I could sneeze and he could be a face.
He's getting up there with Big Show's 5,454 turns.
He just does nothing heel or face. Like he does nothing for. And I'm sorry to any Dolph fans out there. He does nothing for the audience. They could do next Monday a huge storyline of Dolph turning face, and guess what? The crowd and the audience watching on TV would not give a shit.
So, what else happened on Raw?
Oh boy.
The next match was the Bella Twins and Natalia versus the Riot Squad.
Oh, yeah, the one that's been blowing up Twitter.
Yeah, and I didn't see this match. I turned the channel as soon as I saw the Bella Twins come out. So, but I have seen the spot that everyone's talking about.
And what did you think of the spot?
It was dumb. There's no excuse for that botch at all. And I've seen so many superstars try and defend it. And I get why. I get that they're defending the coworker. And look, I get that accidents happen. Okay, I get it. Accidents happen. It happens. I mean, but at the same time, though,
You show
it
up
would
late
be.
for a podcast on Wednesday. Sorry.
I mean, it would be one thing if this was an isolated incident. It's not. Ever since Brie Bella has come back, she has screwed up a spot at least once in every match she's been in. Like she's always been bad, but not this bad. I mean, it's obvious that the women's division has passed her by. Really, both Bella twins, but especially Brie. And considering how long she's been wrestling for, there really is just no excuse at all.
Because I didn't see the spot, so because I didn't watch that match at all.
Eh,
What?
I won't rant. I won't rant. I won't.
Rant.
Rant.
It's such a simple spot.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Morse with cerebral palsy could get up and kick somebody in the chest. It's just such a simple. It's not like doing a hurricanrana or a top rope. It's such a simple, simple, like the simplest of all moves. Mm. I will actually, because if I start, I might not stop. And fuck, sheesh is so. And before I get any, oh, well, where were you? A couple years ago or last year? No, she's always been bad. I've always said she's been bad. So don't come at me like all of a sudden like, oh well, your favorite botches too, but now you're gonna take it out on Brie. No, fuck that. I'll call botches out for what they are, and I'll call Brie out as a shit wrestler. She's not a wrestler. She's a shit character. that pretends to be a wrestler. She's not a wrestler. I don't give a flying fuck. She cannot wrestle. She cannot act. She, she. There's a reason why there is an outcry or whatever you want to call it for she's bad. She's bad for her own health. She's bad for other workers' health. She's bad. She's always been bad.
At this point, she's an unsafe worker. Like there's no doubt about it.
Right. Like now it's getting to the point of like jeopardizing other workers, or it was always kind of there because, good lord, it Google rematches go all the way back. Well, she's been wrestling 10 years. I think she knows what she's doing. She fucking doesn't. She does not. She just doesn't. And when she tried going from whatever the fuck she was doing to, well, I'm just going to incorporate Daniel's moves. Are you fucking. Let's do suicide dives. Let's do yes kicks. How the fuck do you fuck up a yes kick? How? And there's still shots of her not even looking at Liv, looking at the corner, not even paying attention to what the fuck she's doing. I rebuild motors and carburetors and shit for a living. It's like me fucking being blindfolded, and which I might do a better job at rebuilding a carburetor fucking blindfolded than Bree trying to do moves that she is incapable of doing correctly. Well, I'm grown. I'm learning. I've improved. No, the fuck you haven't. You've got a new move set that you still fucking can't do. A move set that is actually endangering other people. How the fuck do you mess up yes kicks?
Honestly, Miz does them better. I never thought I'd say that, but Miz does it better.
Be still
Well,
my heart. I think it just went into cardiac arrest.
egg kicks are better than yes kicks. I'll give you that. But how? It's just such a low level move. And yeah, there's accidents happen. Freak this, freak that. I get all that, but look at everything as a the big picture. Look at what she did 3 weeks ago. Okay, say all you want about Sarah was out of position. I don't believe that, but say it so. The second dive, uh, Brie Bella does not deserve to be in a WWE ring in front of a live audience at all. At all. And like I say before, anybody asks me, oh, well, now you're coming at Brie. No, I've been coming at her for 10 years. She sucks. She's always sucked. She's never been good. She's been a danger more times than I can count on all my fingers and all my toes. She can do her modeling twin stuff and her Birdie B or whatever the fuck that's called. Her reality shows. She still sucks at that too. So be it. But when you and I care about people, so I'm also caring about her. You are putting you're doing things that you're incompetent to do. You're doing things that are not only jeopardizing other people but yourself as well, and that doesn't sit well with me. I've seen too many wrestlers who will just stick to specific wrestling. I've seen too many people get hurt, too many careers ended that people were actually good at doing wrestling, and it was a freak accident. Now she's just doing shit she has no right to be doing. And I don't want to see her. I mean, Daniel, look at Daniel's situation. Look at Brian's situation. I don't want to see. I mean, let's think of the girl, Birdie. She's gonna have two parents that can't walk in 10 years. Fuck that shit. Quit doing what you're doing. Make your money elsewhere. You're such a big fucking brand. You can draw eyeballs without doing that fucking shit.
I don't even know if the Bella Twins even draw eyeballs at all.
Well, and that's a whole different conversation because they don't.
Oh yeah, they don't. Like they really don't. Like
No,
I really don't think like anybody on the street would even recognize real Nikki. Maybe Nikki, but I don't know.
but
And
they're twins,
and even Brian has said like people
and
recognize him say hey, aren't you Daniel Bryan? Which means
that's the
that they
cream
don't
of the.
watch the show. Which means that they don't watch
Yeah,
WWE then. So the whole people watch the whole Total Divas, then they transition to WWE. No, they don't. If that's an indication of
no,
anything, if they don't recognize Daniel Bryan, then they clearly haven't transitioned to WWE.
don't I know you from that show on E Network, motherfucker? That's a clear sign of I haven't seen you on WWE, but in a bad way because and you cannot tell me that every person, like if he's on a sidewalk, that people walking by like, oh, I know you from that show on the E Network. Bull fucking shit. He might have seen one, maybe two people that recognize him from Total Divas or Total Bellas, and that just compounds this past Monday is the shit earlier in the week of the whole, the Divas era or the current Divas, specifically the Bella Twins, and how they're regressing and this is fucking why
Mm-hmm.
everybody giving people a hard time of that no DQ article, which didn't really call out the Bella Twins per se, but
They call out the
how,
divas in general.
yeah, the Divas in general. And this is fucking why.
Oh yeah,
It,
exactly.
it, it, like it was so perfectly timed you'd almost think it was a work. Like that's how perfectly timed it was. Like that article came out and all the backlash to that article, and then look what happens. The very first live show after that article came out and all the rebuttals, and the very first Monday Night Raw after all that happened, look what happened. And I would say this about anyone.
Hmm.
There comes a time of benefit of doubt, and when that gets erased from the board, I don't give a damn if it's Sasha Banks, if it's Becky Lynch, who name your favorite. I don't give a shit. Name your favorite. If they keep doing shit that is happening, and we're gonna stick to Brie specifically here, I don't give a shit. I would say the same thing. Hang it up. Like, nope, you're not good at this because that's been a lot of things on Twitter. But what if it was your favorite? You're just saying that because it's not your favorite. I don't give a fuck. I give a fuck about people's well being, about people's livelihood.
Okay, moving right along.
Sorry.
Yeah, to kind of add some levity to the situation to make this a bit more lighthearted after our rants. I just saw a Burger King commercial for chicken strips on FXX.
I can't stand you. We're no longer friends. Sorry, I warned you both, and I didn't want to do it. You know? I don't care who it is. When it when it happens time and time again,
Yeah,
I'm not
because
the
yeah,
I'm not the problem as a fan.
yeah, because like I said, like if it was an isolated incident, if it was just like a freak accident, like an isolated incident, you know what? Fine, I'll give the benefit of the doubt. But when it keeps happening, when she keeps botching, at some point you have to say, okay, she's a dangerous worker. She's unsafe. And it's like some of the superstars, they might not say it, but they're probably thinking to themselves, I don't want to get in the ring with her.
Yeah.
Because if she did that, and obviously I highly doubt it was intentional. I really
Oh,
doubt it's intentional.
oh, and if anything what I was saying suggested, I thought it was intentional. Like, no, it
Yeah,
was just stupid. It was sloppy. It was
mhm.
not knowing what the fuck you're doing.
Yeah, like, it might not have, it wasn't intentional, but at the same time, some might be going, I don't want to get in the ring with her because I don't trust her with,
Yeah.
because like every night, the superstars are giving their bodies. They are trusting the other superstars with their bodies. They put their bodies on the line, and some might be going, I don't trust her.
Well, and out of like, say the agent is telling you, or you guys are talking about how a match is going to go, and okay, there's a yes kick spot. Wouldn't that be like the last thing you worry about of if I hurt or get hurt? Like that should be like if they, hey, you're going to do a suicide dive or you're going to do a sunset flip off the middle rope or like, but if the in the agent's planning, like, okay, and Bree's going to take this spot and do a few yes kicks like that, you just read right past that and go to the next because that's just it's so goddamn simple.
Oh, speaking of suicide dives, this brings up what Al Snow said. And he said that if you take a dive, make it count for something.
Well, yeah.
Don't do it just to do it. There needs to be a good reason behind it.
So, and especially WWE, suicide dives are done way too much for no reason and way too obvious. So, I probably just pissed a lot of people off, but I'm in
Well,
a good mood, so I don't give a shit.
let's go on. We're moving right along.
Move along, move along.
Or however that song goes that Kermit and Fozzie Bear sang in one of the Muppet movies.
I thought Matt would like read your mind and already have it queued up, but apparently not. So, what else happened overall besides like the main storyline? I know the storyline coming out was what we just spent the time talking about, but the whole episode seemed to lean towards trying to turn Dean. No Sasha Banks, like at all. Not even during the Connor Secure segment. She is legit hurt. Dead air. No dead
not
air.
There really wasn't much that happened on Raw, was there?
not really.
Except for the sixth man at the end.
And Revival and Ziggler and McIntyre had a great match.
Yeah, now that match was great.
Well, Drew can put on a good match. He learned a lot.
That was the kind of match where I wish they could write more than like one storyline at a time. Because the revival, you guys know this, and some like they can be Raw Tag Team Champions. They can carry that guard. But that was a great match. But the Raw is such confusion. I'll use confusion because it's the IC title, the Universal title, tag team titles. Like everything seems to just be like one big feud, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
They could separate it more than what they're doing. I don't know, just my opinion. They're
Yeah.
like assholes. They're everyone.
Yeah, and AOP ended up being the surprise group, the
Yeah,
surprise
and
teammates.
at the last, right before they went to commercial break, Baron Corbin.
You think AOP would have been smarter than to team up with Baron Corbin?
Gotta get on
And
Raw somehow.
before we get to that, just real quick, Leo Rush is a freaking star, and he's so tiny. Like he's so little.
I mean, that's why they had to bring out that booster seat.
That was funny as hell when during the Kevin Owens show. Hey, we got a special seat for you, and it was a damn booster seat for the just the folding chair. That was funny as hell. But then you get to AOP, and Drake Maverick is even smaller than Leo Rush. Like, dang. But before they, when they were still up in the, who couldn't, Braun or Baron pick, and when they went to commercial break, like, AOP, other than that. Which, okay, I guess. Doesn't really make sense if you're going to try to. Nobody in the show has the tag team titles. So. It was
Which they
just a.
need to get.
actually think
because then they can freebird it.
my opinion is at the moment Roman is Universal Champion and Dean has said neither one have championships to tell the full story, like to do things like they did this past Monday and Raw. Just be honest, sucked so bad. Like because you're kind of by doing what they're doing, and this goes back to like so many freaking shows, the Super Showdown, and then Crown Jewel, and it's an overbooked, literally overbooked. Not like the show itself, but we have to, we've got this show coming up, we got this show coming up, and we got this show coming up, and oh, don't forget about this show. Like it's so that they're not focusing on any kind of story. Who the hell is Seth feuding with for the IC title? Nobody. And that's not a Seth problem. That's like the IC title should have some some minutes being feuded about or against during the show. And they just act like the IC title doesn't exist. Dead air.
I guess then we can move on over to Smacky Down.
Smack you down.
Truth TV is a million times better than Miz TV.
Oh, yes, especially with the 7-second dance break.
That was so good.
And then Miz came out and I changed the channel.
How
I'm
dare you?
sorry.
Miz ruins everything.
Wrong. You sit there in your wrong pants. You just sit there and be wrong.
He won back his show, so no more Truth TV.
Yeah, like
Arr.
True
all,
TV
all
and
the good shows get canceled. All the good shows get canceled. First Ash versus Evil Dead. Now it is. Where's the justice?
I
Oh,
really and I know it's not going anywhere, but man, they need to give our True like a huge push.
Yeah.
well, our Truth, I think, is set up more as a carpenter than anything
I
Yeah,
because
think so as well.
because
right. That
he set up because he pushed the storyline along, gave that the Daniel Bryan Miz storyline a little extra push.
yeah, but I'm just like a I'm an R Truth fan. I just like give him something. Dude's not getting any younger. Yeah, whether it's the U.S. or hell, even give him a run with something.
I mean, his run in early TNA was pretty good when he was Ron
Yeah.
the Truth Killings.
Well, even his run when he got to WWE, when he first got there, he won the U.S. Championship and stuff like that. I just
And he's
being a
still in good shape.
yes,
Are you forgetting about K Quick?
no,
Get
wasn't it
rowdy.
wasn't it just quick?
No, he was
K
K
quick.
Quick in about
Yeah, they
2000.
did. Yeah, they did do that. I was thinking for some reason it was K apostrophe or not apostrophe, but hyphen
Hmm.
WIK quick. But it was Cakeway. But he's so damn it. If anytime he's not on my TV, that I'm not entertained, like that, it just doesn't happen. And what a to give due where it's due. How do you turn mellow babyface? Put her with our truth.
Well, I think it's just I think Carmella's just a face for the mixed match challenge. I think once that whole thing's done, she goes back to being a heel.
So be it. But at
But
the
I love
time,
her with her brown hair.
oh yes,
Uh, I prefer the blonde hair, to be honest.
Vince, is that you? I don't really like the color per se. I like the change. I'd like it like maybe a shade darker, so or the 10 or whatever. I have no hair, so now. But I like that she's switching up her look or that kind of thing. But I think this leads more than just the MMC. And now that she's had, because she debuted as a face, which went like disastrously bad before she went heel. Maybe now that she's getting into the groove of things, that she can play face on her own.
It really depends on if she's playing off of someone, because that's her
Yeah.
greatest strength.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's. I was trying to word it correctly, but yeah, given the correct heel, I could see her like finally getting over that hump of, because she just did not work in the face when they made her win this on the Rebel main roster. It just didn't work. They were riding their coattails down, and it just didn't suit her. But once she turned heel, oh, well, Carmella's got some funk.
Well, even then, it kind of took her time because Nikki Bella never really put her over when it counted.
Well, if the person's last name is Bella, are they really ever going to put you over? But I see, even if we say it's just like this combination lasting through the next match challenge, like that, that's okay. But she's progressed so much character wise that she can pull off the face now where she couldn't before on her own from NXT with DNC. Uh, damn it, I won't do that because that's Edge and Christian. End zone cast. She, but when she came to the main roster by herself, and she got zero reaction, and she getting her feet wet, I think she can do better now as a face than she did 2 years ago.
SmackDown had didn't really have that Mil except for Milwaukee. What happened in Milwaukee, folks?
Nothing. Nothing ever fucking happens in Milwaukee.
Not according to Aiden English.
I have to. I was doing that joke on KSIT and Twitter and Facebook. What happened? I'll tell everybody what happened in Milwaukee.
Or Milwaukee.
Okay. Like nothing ever happens in Milwaukee. So such a random city to use. And then oh shoot, I can't remember who did the cagematch.com. Like Lana and Aiden have, according to the results thing, they've never been in Milwaukee together. Just, even house shows. Like they've never been in Milwaukee together. My Milwaukee joke was because I have a lot of friends from Wisconsin, and that one night in Milwaukee, not shit happened because nothing ever happens in Milwaukee. And that's just such a storyline. It's like if you would have given an angle of how they break up and what happens, anything but be a fair storyline would have worked for me. Anything but.
Well, that leads us into the Iconics.
They made commentary listenable for a change.
I wonder what you were going to say about them.
What? Wait a minute. Did I miss Iconics on commentary?
Yeah, they were there when Naomi and Asuka were taking on.
Oh, okay.
I forgot who they were facing.
Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose.
Oh yeah, but the Iconics were on commentary.
As much as I love Mandy Rose, Sonya Deville, if they do her right, is a freaking star. The only downside I see to Sonya Deville is the MMA people coming behind her, Ronda, Shayna, Ronda and her friends. Like Sonya is getting really, really good. But how many MMA acts can you have under one umbrella?
And then there's always my rant for SmackDown.
Uh-oh.
But I'll save that for last.
You said rant, right?
A rant.
Well, I didn't even want to do it, and you guys made me rant, so ran away.
Why, WWE, why are you running with this family invasion, home crap again? It never worked in the first place. It's never worked. And you still go back and do it. And you know it's going to fail. No matter how good Joe is, it's still going to be a major cluster. It's just I have never seen a good one. The closest I've seen to something coming even close was The Undertaker against the McMahon family. But other than that, any of the other ones, they they've just fizzled out. It's ridiculous. Everyone knows it's not the real wife and it's not the real home and it looks so stagey anyway. You can't suspend your disbelief.
We're talking about the Smojo going to AJ's house.
House, instead of him being there to sign the contract, which ensures that he doesn't have a match.
Craig, this is for you. Paige is a bad GM sometimes. Like, how do you not know he's like? Shouldn't you secure that he's in the arena? Sorry.
Well, no, what she should have done was say that Joe forfeits because he's not there to sign the contract. AJ signs it, and it's a forfeit match. AJ retains.
It worked a few times, like Steve Austin showing up at Brian Pillman's house, which they will never refer to again because Brian Pillman pulled a gun.
The only one I liked of where one adversary showed up at another adversary's house was with The Undertaker going after the McMahon family. And that's because it creeped the hell out of me.
I like the one where Triple H went to Randy Orton's house.
Yeah, that one was good.
That was still, it still fizzled though.
It
Yeah,
did. It did.
the long term storytelling, and this has been going on for years. Like they do like some of these great, like, oh my god, I'm interested. Oh my god, I can't wait. And then it, like you guys have both said, like it just fizzles out. Like there's the last few years with it. That's why when they started the oh Wendy, like oh god, this isn't gonna end well. Because you could just kind of see where it was going, and they don't know how to. And this is definitely a prove me wrong. Because please prove. I will next Wednesday at 10 Eastern, 9 Central, 8 Mountain. I will definitely eat my words. Prove me wrong, because right now I I don't see it.
I don't care for that. I I don't like it. It's
It's a little too. Wrestling is soap opera, but this
it's
is a
supposed to
little.
be soap opera, but that's taking
This
it
is,
from the realm of soap opera to the realm of snoozing.
yeah, it's a little too soap opera, if that makes sense. Like it's a little overboard.
I mean, I don't mind the storyline, if only because it's one of the few good storylines that SmackDown's doing at the moment.
How the hell in 2 weeks did SmackDown go from must see to what the fuck?
I got two words for you: Road Dog.
I, excuse me. Like that's how like they were so hot, and then all of a sudden, not to rhyme or anything, but they're not.
Because they keep making stupid decisions where it just nothing happened in the mid card or them turning one of their most popular baby faces heel for no discernible reason at all. It's just a mess right now.
2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, the the best feud or the best story, if you will, Becky and Charlotte, and how quickly that turns into I don't give a fuck. Like like how quickly that changed. Of oh, what's gonna happen now? Or oh, I can't wait to see what. And yes, I don't like Charlotte, so be it. But even then, like it was a compelling story that went to shit, like basically.
because they're trying to position Becky as a heel, and it's not working. At least it's not working the way they want it to.
SmackDown and the let's just go ahead and say like this past month since the last pay per view, like it's been a long time since my interest has been peaked versus where my interest has just completely fallen off so quickly. Like they were doing so well. The Becky Shirley thing, the Joe AJ Wendy stuff, the Rusev Day, like like we've all been on a roller coaster that had the chains that click 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 click, and if they haven't finally made it to the top and started going down, that's what it feels like to me. Is that it doesn't. They were doing so well, and then just all of a sudden, not like literally all of a sudden. Okay,
It's just I don't know, it's like going back to my rant, it's just something that they just they're cutting and pasting it again.
Like there's so many superstars on the roster who are just the wrong alignment. There's so many of them that are just the wrong alignment. And if they were a different alignment, it probably would be a better product. Like Styles should be a heel, Becky should be face, Charlotte should be heel, Asuka should be heel, Ruby Riott should be face, Bobby Roode should be heel. Like there's so many that should be a different alignment than what they are, and it's kind of hurting the product.
yeah,
Well, they got Chad Gable as the right alignment.
Yeah, I
but
mean,
and
they're
see
all
that's they're not even as much as I'm loving Chad Gable, taking over the glorious thing. As much as I'm loving that, they're really not even doing that correctly.
they're not even doing that much where really like it's one of those things where they have no plans for them at all. They have no idea what to do with either of them. So hey, let's
It
just make
is
them a tag
literally
team and hope for the best. It is
it is
second
it
to, well, we don't know what to do with this person, so hey, let's make them the heel and hope for the best.
yeah, it's literally we've seen this movie before. Here, let's try to make a few bucks off of making a sequel. That's literally what Gable, although it has given Gable a rejuvenation, like because I find that fantastic that how he does the. But we've seen this movie before. Like, don't give me wrong part two. I was gonna because I was about to throw a whole franchise under the bus, but I won't because I already ran it once. Don't give me Raw Part Two and call it not Raw, part one. Like we've seen this movie. We know how it's going to end.
It's just lazy writing from creative.
And there, you and I and AA have had. There's some laziness, granted, but damn, they have to at the same time write so much. I mean, 52 weeks live television, 3 hours. Let's just stick to Raw. 3 hours a week, 52 weeks a year, live television. But it's kind of hard to fault. We can sit here all day, every day, and fantasy book and that kind of stuff. Damn. And you guys know me. I'm not necessarily a WWE defender or apologist, but even for me, it's to the point of, excuse me. Um, for instance, the Friday kid takeover show. Couldn't they do better? Like, surely they could do better.
They can. They can. They're just choosing not to.
But for what reason and at what cost? And this is not at what cost is not a business question because their stock's never been higher. I mean,
And they've got brand new TV deals.
yeah, I mean their stock's about to hit $100 a share, and I've said this. Maybe I've never said it on air before, but I've said this for years and years. I've been married 14 years. You know, my wife is also a wrestling fan. There's going to come a day that I would not be surprised. A collapse is such a strong word that I don't see. And again, this 14 years ago. Like they have a market. Don't get me wrong. But they're losing that market very rapidly here in the last 2, 3, 4 years. People that buy the shirts, people that subscribe to the network, how they're going up in stock price is these international shows and stuff like that. They're not doing it just by giving us our Monday Night Raw and SmackDown and monthly pay-per-views. They're making money.
They're making money hand over fist.
Oh, they are. There's going to come a time when that's not going to be the case. Like, say, for instance, the Saudi Arabia show with Taker and HBK and Triple H and Kane. What are they going to do when those people can't show up? What are they going to do when Super Showdown the draws of the show can't show up? What are they going to do? As much as I would like to see like a Kevin Owens versus Roman Reigns main event, a big show like that. Yeah. Saudi Arabia, Australia, they're not paying for that shit. They're paying for names they know. The only person in Saudi Arabia that got any kind of big reaction was Seth Rollins. I keep saying Saudi Arabia. You guys know what I mean. He was the only one that got any kind of like, damn, they're cheering him. Was when his music hit. I don't know. Uh, I'll say it.
You'll
Especially
say
now, yeah, especially now that they do have these television deals and guaranteed money coming in. The next couple of years, they have to refocus what they're trying to do because Undertaker can't be at every show. Whatever they're paying Shawn Michaels to come out of retirement can't happen every show. They really have to reevaluate how they move forward. If I'm making sense at all,
yeah, you're making sense.
because I see if they don't change how they think about things, I see a collapse, if you will, in the stock. The only thing saving them is again like the merchandise, the shirts, the that kind of stuff. Like they're still going to get revenue from that stuff, but these big gates stuff, it's not going to work when you can't either somebody literally can't wrestle or is literally dead. Like it's not going to work that way. Hey, well, we want Triple H versus Undertaker. Okay, that works now. What about 10 years from now?
They're going to think it's going to work at 10 years from now.
Well, that's what an optimistic investor would think. Well, what if it doesn't? Well, like that's 10 years from now. Seriously, but look at who could put on a better match. I'm currently in the WWE or coming up through the ranks, and I've never been really a proponent of WWE isn't making stars. But when it comes to this kind of stuff, because I have some 401k in WWE, I don't want to see my investment go to shit. And I've contemplated the last few days of selling the stocks I have and just I'm actually kind of proud of myself. Hey, I own WWE. Oh, obviously, but sorry, I just financially and my you guys know me, my analytical mind. Like this is a recipe for disaster. Not made up level, but it's not sustainable. And with that, I'm talking about that.
So, what else is there in the wrestling world?
Can't really think of anything.
Well, I'm in the middle of a bidding war that you guys both remember the Ivelisse versus Katrina match, Lucha Underground finale season 3.
A little bit.
Yes. Speaking of
Hey,
which, this is kind of off the subject, but did you guys see Lucha Underground tonight?
I saw about half of it. I only saw like the first match.
Oh, okay, then I won't spoil the rest of it.
I haven't seen any of, excuse me, of this season. But the ring gear she wore for season 3, which includes the Ivelisse Katrina match, is up for auction on eBay. So I'm in a little bidding war. And it's autographed, which is cool.
All right.
I can only bid so much. I'm hoping I get it. I have a one day and I think 22 hours left to go. Right now I'm the highest bidder. She
Well,
worked
best of
all through.
luck.
She worked all through. I think all her LU run, and in AAA and CML. Hell, she worked a couple times. It'd be cool. Not in a weird way. For you, anybody listening, it's not like that. Like if I can get,
Sure it isn't. Sure it
well, yeah,
isn't.
I hate the word like stand when you're talking about any kind of fandom. Yeah, I release. She does no wrong. Anywho, but yeah, yeah, I don't have. I have a glove from AJ Styles 3 years ago that he actually wore in the ring. I don't have much in ring. Like I have a lot of worn like football and baseball and basketball stuff, but not much wrestling. If I can get it on the cheap, I'm getting it. Plus it's autographed. Plus it's Ivory's. Matt, you should have when AA and I were watching that match again, but we were watching it and talking. Or AA.
Why poor AA?
Because it was AA or AA. It was I'm releasing Katrina. I don't know how many times. Oh, good times. Um, Well, you have a heartbeat, don't you? Well, you're a man, aren't you? Because there were a few times where, I mean, remember they were wrestling. I went full, like, just not suitable for work stuff sometimes. Um, as far as things we haven't talked about, I watched a few clips here and there of like older New Japan stuff and older Noah stuff here and there. Sadly, found out that Viasat, the satellite internet provider thingy, apparently so many people around here are ordering it that I can't get it. So they're stuck with me on
I still look
mobile.
up.
What?
Huh?
What'd you say?
Oh, I was singing to the Bahamas commercial.
Oh, nothing really wrestling's gone on here. I think what we talked about.
I actually need to watch 205 Live.
Well, yeah, even though it's not live anymore.
True. I need to watch it and see if Curtis Cole got the call.
Please don't ever post that that it's not a profile pic, but that graphic pic of Curtis Cole because that picture versus what he actually looks like, wow,
I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that to Curtis.
good grief! Like that picture just looks so wow.
But I think I heard Curtis say something about there was a possibility he could end up on 205 Live.
That'd be cool.
No, he makes the weight limit, so there'd be no problem with that.
That'd be really neat.
So I've got to watch 205 Live and find out. Or I could DM him and ask him.
He only talks to me every once in a while. I'm not like you. I don't get instant replies. Huh. Woe is me.
Well, he doesn't see you almost every week or every other week.
Well, yeah, there's that. Like, that's such a small problem. Hey, he knows who I am. I'll take that. Uh,
I'm
What?
gonna
What?
try.
What?
I'm gonna try to get him on our podcast sometime.
Well, anytime's a good time for me.
I'm also gonna try to get the Left Coast Gorillas. That ought to
Well,
be a riot of a podcast.
anytime's a good time for me.
Maybe if I give them a 6 pack of beer apiece, they'll be happy.
Oh yeah, I'm still tripping out that two of them. Like, oh, you're Mox from Violent Wrestling Podcast. Like, oh, what? I'm not going to use your shoot name, but they used it. Like, yeah, that's me. That
Yeah,
was,
they all know my shoot name.
yeah, they, both of them, Hoodie and Filter. Like, oh, yeah, you're Mox from, like, Oh, I was just saying hi. That's pretty cool, though, that apparently word has gotten around that we talk about them, or obviously it's all on your shoulders. But they know you so well that somehow when
Well, they listen to the show.
oh um, I'm gonna go with Clemens.
What?
It's a bad Saturday Night Live reference. Going with Clemens not being able to talk. I didn't know they were listening. Anywho, anything else this week in wrestling,
Not that I can think of.
Matt?
Not that I can think of either.
Anything personal lives? Anything needs to?
Cassie almost fell off the bed.
Well, quit pushing the dog off the bed.
No, she did it on herself.
Hmm.
She rolled over and almost fell off the bed. She started rolling
Well,
over, realized there was nothing there, so
if you're an
she woke up real
OG,
quick.
if you're an OG VWP fan, then you know that Cassie has pushed AA off the bed before, like mid podcast. Just like, oh shit, payback.
But I didn't push her off the bed.
No,
I didn't even almost push her off the bed. She did that all on her own.
weird dog.
Not any
Well,
weirder than your dogs.
I'll tell you what, I have the three weirdest dogs you can ever meet. Oh, I don't get my dogs at all. Like I get them like one on one, but when they all come together, like what the? Don't get it. Speaking of which, in case I did bring this up, Wednesday or Friday, my Jack Russell Terrier and Elmo, he's out of the ER. He's home, which is happy. Everything's fine. I think I may have brought that up Friday. He was in the ER, but he's home. He's fine for now. Um, so he's being a jackass. Oh, I mean, all the dogs are home. I have three happy dogs and
One happy kid.
yeah, one happy son. Miserable dad. Anywho, dead air, dead air.
So, nothing else in the wrestling world. I guess that ends it for tonight of another episode of Violent Wrestling Podcast.
Always fun, as usual.
And how can they get a hold of you guys?
You can find me on Twitter at Fireman6809. In the daily, it's Prince Moxley Lopez, hence the nickname Mox. Um, because I'm like reaching out to people. If you want to email me, I'm dee.carter, CARTER 614 at gmail.com. And
And what about the metal mat?
Well, you can find me on Twitter at melmat15. And I'm also on K-Side Seats, hanging on the daily and the nightly. Tonight, the nightly was on the cell matches from Hell in a Cell 2013. It was a
CM
mixed
Punk,
bag to say
CM
the
Punk,
least.
CM Punk, CM Punk.
It was
Oh,
a
Sorry.
mixed
shut up.
it was a mixed bag to say the least. CM Punk and Ryback sucked. It was better than the previous year, but not by much. Bryan and Orton was pretty good though. Tomorrow, AA might actually be interested in the cell matches for tomorrow because tomorrow they have Cena and Orton again, but then there's Dean Ambrose versus Seth Rollins inside the cell.
Oh, the one with that funky ending.
Yeah.
Oh, that'll get me up. That'll get me going.
That was the. Are we talking about the same thing? The wall fall.
That was the long fall, and it was also the one where Bray Wyatt does his
Oh,
ooh
good grief!
spooky thing.
Yeah. Uh, random ghost. Random ghost. You can email us or tweet us. Email is violentwrestlingpodcast@gmail.com. Twitter is violent wrestling with no G at the end.
It wouldn't fit.
Okay, Matt, you said it 5 times already. Say it again.
What?
That's what she said. You've already said it.
Wait, what's going on?
Um,
I wasn't paying attention.
Violent Wrestling Podcast at Violent Wrestling Podcast. No G. It wouldn't fit.
That's what she said.
Damn it. I, I knew I set myself up.
Well, you pointed it out. You could have just let it
Well,
go.
but because I knew it was gonna happen. Matt's the best at biding his time and just waiting. He
And
always
then
does
like,
it.
like I'm waiting to have Burger King.
See, see.
and we're waiting to hear about his podcast.
Yeah, this Friday, Jomo Central is going to be on the podcast. We're going to be talking about Armageddon 2003 and Tribute to the Troops 2003.
Who is?
Jomo Central,
Oh,
aka Matt Rogers.
Okay.
Another Matt.
There's too many of you. I know him as the format man.
And let's give a shout out to some of our friends out there who have their own podcasts.
We have friends.
Yes, we do.
Nice.
We have Shooting the Breeze. We have the
Yep.
Connoisseurs of Wrestling.
Shooting the breeze at 11 Eastern, 10 Central, Saturday mornings.
Connoisseurs of Wrestling during Raw.
8 Eastern, 7 Central. Monday
Grounds
night.
for Development.
They posters 10 Eastern, 9 Central, Thursday mornings.
Two Guys, One Sport.
This one always gets me because sometimes they change. But Two Guys, One Sport is pretty great. Got George and Chris, which are always a great wrestler.
And of course, the Ruthless Aggression Era podcast with our co
Boo.
host, Metal Matt.
Boo. Never heard of that guy. Boo.
Oh, I'm definitely having Burger King now. After that,
Hey. I can only pay you back in little things, but Ruthless Aggression airs 8 p.m. Friday nights Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. Pretty good stuff, I guess. If you like that kind of stuff, it really is a good podcast.
Oh, just wait until next Friday. That's gonna be a fun one.
Oh, let's go ahead and do a little spoiler alert for next Friday. Next Friday, October 5th. What could possibly be happening? Hmm.
Well, me, Mox, and Angel are gonna be taking a look at WWE originals.
That should be fun. That should be fun.
Yeah,
I,
it's gonna be one of the best episodes. I can already tell.
the contract didn't come through my fax machine, so I'm not sure if I can be there.
Oh, you're gonna be there, and you will like it.
Can't stand you. I can't. So next Wednesday, you guys are gonna hear me at least twice. Um, or next Wednesday, next week, Wednesday, or our next episode of VWP. Wednesday, 9 Eastern, or 10 Eastern, 9 Pacific. Not, God dang it. 10 Eastern, 9 Central, and
8
then
Mountain
Friday, 8 Mountain, 7
Pacific.
Pacific. I'm trying. Dang it. When Matt gets to going on time zones, like he always. Anyway, and then Friday, October 5th, I will, I guess, be on Ruthless Aggression podcast.
You better be.
8 Eastern, 7 Central, 6 Mountain, and 5 Pacific. With Wing.
If
And
he's sober.
I was going to say, like, at 5 his time, surely he's going to be sober, right? Like, are we going to start taking bets?
No, I don't take sucker bets.
That should be fine.
Well, everyone, we're going to say goodnight. We'll see you next week. Same podcast time, same violent channel, or something like that. Or is it same violent channel, same violent time, or is it same violent time, same violent channel? I don't know. Something like that.
Gotcha. I'll, I have to. Who gives a shit? Love you guys. Thank you. Not to just both my co-hosts, AA and Matt, but last week with my not being able to talk. Thank you guys, and we'll see you next Wednesday. And hopefully, there's some WWE corrections. Because good lord, it's getting hard to watch. Love you. Take care. Peace.